Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's me, R Squad 911, back again with another Ghostbusters DIY video or how-to video. Today, we're going to be doing a little modification on the Ghost Trap, the HASLAB 2 in the box Ghost Trap pedal. And we're going to be changing this little light here. Now, before I got all this stuff that I'm going to try out and test, what I did was I actually took this thing out and I just kind of like wet sanded it and polished it to make it look less plasticky and more shiny. My idea was to get it as shiny as one of these, but obviously because it's not clear, it's cloudy. It looks a little bit better, but it's minimally better than kind of like the matte plastic look that it had. So we're going to be changing this little hat light here, and I have a few options. Right here we have, this is the Frutto Technologies light, and this is the Charlesworth Dynamics light. And you can see the difference is one's taller than the other. The Frutto is taller, and it kind of tapers off at the top, which I kind of like. And the Charlesworth Dynamics is just a cylinder. It doesn't taper off, and it's a little shorter. So it's going to replace that. And as you can see, it is much bigger than what comes with the trap. And the reason is that these ones are designed, once you take off this nut, to just kind of insert in the hole that sticks out of. It rests on top of this, and then you bolt it in from underneath. Of course, yeah, it looks really big. We'll install it and we'll see. We'll test it out and see how it looks. I'll take off these nuts just so we can be ready for when we install it. And I bought 2 of each. You know, I mean, I'm paying so much in shipping anyways from the US, I might as well buy 2 and pay the same shipping costs in case I don't know if I need spares or somebody locally in my Toronto Ghostbusters crew needs one. I'll just sell it to them at whatever my cost was on it, and we just split the shipping, right? And what do I have here? We have the third option. This just arrived. I've had these for weeks. Just been waiting for this one to come in. And I also have a Ben of Kent props banjo coming in, but that's been over a month coming in from the UK. And anyone who buys from Ben of Kent props, you know that it just takes forever. So yeah, I try not to buy stuff, but I mean, some of this stuff is just so well priced. I guess it is kind of worth the wait. Okay, so this one, look at that. That is tiny. This one is supposed to be screen accurate. And this is from Ghostlab 42 or Ghostface or Spongeface. And you can get these on eBay. I'm going to put a link to all of them. And this one just replaces the board in there. And yeah. You can see that it has like this plastic base that he has the light on, and that will insert through. It'll come up through there. So you will have this black ring with the light. These ones, if you put it in, you won't have a black ring, but you can see the size difference. But apparently this is, you know, screen accurate. And yeah, I just figured I'd get all of them, see what available options there were out there, and show you guys how they all look. And you guys can decide for yourselves. And at the end of the video, I'll decide which one that I want to keep on here. Okay. So what do we have to do? We have to open up this thing first. And to do that, we're going to have to take off the screws. Now, I've changed mine to these M3 pan head hex screws. The original ones come with Phillips. So you'll just have to remove the 4. I mean, do I have to remove these? I'm not exactly sure. there's a couple of ways to do it, I guess. You can, well, we'll just remove these four first. You can remove these four, and you do kind of get access to the two Phillips screws that are inside there, because that's how I originally removed this. But that's if you want to be lazy, and I don't know. I feel like you have a higher chance of stripping those two screws in there. But yeah, we're gonna explore every avenue here. So took off those. Pull this thing off there. Oh, you can see that's where my remote is for my for the pedal for the smoke. Anyways, so you can see right up here, there is the two screws. This one's easy to get, obviously. That one's a little harder. You chance of stripping it. So the other way to do it is obviously is to remove the base. So we'll do that. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then two screws hidden under there. So that's 8. So we'll remove all of those. And if you do that, I don't believe you need to remove the side plate. But I just did it anyways, just to show you what's in there. Again, trying to explore every avenue. Okay. And now to get to these two. The trick is to get some sticky tape. So I'll go grab that right here. Just some sticky masking tape. You can just wrap it around the edge of these, twist and pull, and they just pop right up. Don't know if I can reuse this, but I'm going to try. Yep, there we go. It's super simple. I see other guys trying to pry it up with a screwdriver, and you'll mar it. That's why originally when I did it from inside here, and I didn't remove these because I was like, man, if I get a screwdriver in there, I'm definitely going to mar up the base and these things. But I had 2 subscribers who mentioned to me in my comments in my other videos of how to do it. Just put some sticky tape on it, and it works like a charm. Okay, so that will give us access to these 2 screws here. 1. 2. And then this should just pull right up. And what's nice is these D-rings, I'm going to have these back in stock on my Etsy store. It helps you just pull it, and then just pops this thing right open. Okay, so actually I never noticed this before, but I just noticed that there's this black wire, and it actually connects through here. Oh, and this slides right out. Yeah. So I'll be eventually replacing these. I don't know if you see on the top right corner there, I got these new hoses here. I'm going to change this red hose and yellow hose. Much better color. Look at that. Much more. The yellow, you can't really tell, but it is a much nicer yellow than that yellow. But this red is way nicer than this horrible orangey red. But I won't change those until I get that banjo there. I've already changed this to a brass fitting. It's not the screen accurate one, but I mean, it was cheap. So I just got it on Amazon and put it on there. But anyways, enough about that. That's for something later. We're going to, well, I guess if you did take off the side, yeah, the side plate would have come off with this, wouldn't it have? Yeah, it would have. So yeah, if this side plate would have been mounted onto here, you would have just pulled it off like that. Yeah, so I'll just reinstall this really quickly. So that'll be easier for it. Okay, guys, this is super embarrassing. I just realized my mics ran out of batteries. I swear I had it on the charger, but they were completely dead. So I've actually recorded about 10 more minutes and realized that the receiver on top of my camera here was just off. So I'm just going to redo what I just did. Basically, now that I've put this cover back together here, we're going to leave that off to the side. We are going to remove these two screws here. All right, so once we remove those two screws, this board really has no purpose other to in a fancy way to power this LED and to obviously mount it there. If you were to fry this board or get rid of this board, you can literally cut it off and you could just solder. I actually have an LED sitting there. You can just solder the red and the black power and the ground to this LED and you'd be able to power it. So really this is just a glorified LED holder power upper thing. All right, so we'll remove that. We'll just put it off to the side here, and we'll go by the order in which I purchased these. And this will be the Charlesworth Dynamics light, and very simple. It just fits exactly where it is. There's a little bit of movement there, and then what you'll do is, this thing always comes loose. So I'm actually going to tape that into place, just so it doesn't get in the way while we film. Okay, so yeah, we're going to put that through there. And it's as simple as just putting the washer and the nut over it. Now the trick here is you don't turn the nut inside there. You actually just turn the hat light from the outside, or the light lens, or whatever you want to call it. And you just literally just turn it until it tightens. You know, you can just like that. And that's all it is. You see there? This does look pretty big on there, but it is a huge improvement over the stock one. Yeah, let's install this. We will just light it up just to see how it looks. Okay, so just everything clears the board. We'll just put in one screw just so we can get a visual on it. Like so. And then I will go grab the trap to power this thing up, and we can see how the light looks. Okay, so here's the trap. I am so glad I made this short patch cable. Makes it so much easier to do testing on the bench. And yeah, and then you don't have to like fiddle around with this giant cord that's going to be sitting there. Okay, so we're going to turn this thing on. I'm going to have to shut it down, obviously. And there it is. It shines bright, looks good. And yeah, just like that. We'll do it up close now. Looks great. Okay, so we'll power it off. Oops, I turned it on, obviously. And we will swap it out for the Frutto Technologies lens. All right, so we'll just unscrew that right there. Hold that off to the side. Now you do it reverse. You just kind of unscrew the light lens. Just kind of put your finger on the nut there, and then just unscrew. Everything will just fall out, just like that, all over the floor. Okay. Next, where did I put them all here? Here is the Frutto. Yep, they are the same. The Frutto is just slightly taller or like 1.5 mm taller. They're the same width at the top, just wider at the bottom, which gives it that nice tapered look. I do prefer this look better, but it does look much bigger now that I have them side by side. Yeah. So same thing, sits on the top like that. And kind of take a look at how it looks like that. So we'll do side by side. Let's see, there's the Frutto. There's the Charlesworth Dynamics. Yeah, it looks actually quite a bit bigger, just because the Charlesworth is a little bit shorter. It's crazy how on something, I guess it's because it's small, like how much 1.5 mm makes visually. But I do like the taper on it. So really, the options are if you're in the UK and you or in Europe, it's quicker to get it. I mean, shipping is roughly the same. Shipping from the US was pretty expensive. From Frutto, it was cheaper. It all worked out really to this being the same, especially me being in Canada. If you're in the US, definitely get it from Charlesworth Dynamics. It's just going to be way cheaper to get it to you from his door to your door. All right, so we'll install this. We'll grab the washer. Really, you probably don't need the washer, but they provide it with it, so why not install it? All right, so same thing, put the nut there, and then just turn the lens until it tightens, like so. And there you go. It's on there. We will light it up now. Looking at both of these together, I'm thinking, man, they look quite large. I might be leaning towards the Ghostlab, but I haven't put that on yet, so I am not exactly sure. Okay, so there it is. We'll turn it on. Looks good too. I mean, it looks almost identical to the way the Charlesworth looks, but light-wise. Do it one more time. Yeah, okay. And now we will remove it. And we'll put in the Ghostlab. Ghostlab will need a little bit of wiring. I mean, it's plug and play. Wiring as in you just gotta undo this and everything should be good. These just need to be deburred a little bit. I guess they came with a longer stem or shaft or whatever you want to call it, and they have to cut it down so it clears the board and the LED, like so, right? Okay, so we'll get these two out of the way. And oh, I just stabbed myself with this corner here. It's pretty sharp. Or was it this corner? Yeah. But yeah, this is the Ghostlab 42. As you can see, it has its own 3D printed block there. Everything's all wired very nicely. It is plug and play because there's no plug on this one. You'd had to have just soldered it on there. But you don't need to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this JST connector here. Do not grab it from the wires, just grab it from the ears on the side and just pull out. You saw how easy that was to come out. Then you take this one and you plug it in where it was. Just line it up, make sure it's straight, and then push straight in like that. And then the old connector will plug into the new connector. And basically it's just routing everything back into here. Okay, so this it only lines up one way. It's actually quite a nice piece that's been 3D printed. And then we will screw this in. I'll do one for now, just see how I like it. Now, just looking at it now, I know this is an actual genuine lens, and that's what they use on the screen used pedals. And right now, just because I've been using had these two on it, this thing looks minuscule. And also compared to the stock one's like in between all of them. But this one does look pretty small, but it looks good too. Um, yeah, so that ring around it isn't bad at all. If you really wanted to do it later on, you could probably add some filler and repaint this or whatever, but it really doesn't bother me. And it looks good. So I think this might be the one that I'm going to keep on there. So I'm going to seal the deal. I'm going to put in both screws. And the price with shipping was quite a bit more compared to just buying those lenses, I guess, because there's wires and GSTs and whatever, and 3D printed materials. I think this ended up costing me about $50 Canadian, whereas these ones cost me about 25 Canadian each after shipping and whatnot. So really, it depends on your budget and the look that you're going for. So you just got to find a balance in between. Like, are these enough, or is that, or do you like the look of the bigger lenses, right? But enough about that. I'm going to power this thing up. We're going to leave this LED out too, because you're going to see them power up as well. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Okay, we'll do it up close here. Even has the fade, so it's good. Yeah. I think I'm just going to stick with this one. Am I going to cut this one off because I don't need it? Probably not. I'm just going to tuck it away into here, into the corner, so the LED shines into a corner, so I don't get that red light bleed anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some masking tape here, and you got to be careful about these wires as well. We'll stick this back to where it was being held before, like so. Actually, we probably don't even need to do that, just because then I need more slack. I'll probably just put it on one of them. That. And then we'll probably tape this here, because you don't want to kind of get it in the way of the pedal function there. So just put some tape there. Lock it down. You can use whatever tape that you want. This is what I have on hand. This, I'm not sure. I think I will just tape it down regardless. Don't think that's wide enough. Like that. Don't believe that'll get in the way of pedal function. Nope. And yeah, I think that's good. And then we'll just tape this into the corner here. Also want to tape it so it's not rattling around. It is a loose piece of circuit board there. Yeah, that's good. That works for me. Yeah, I mean, it's not the prettiest, but it will be covered up. We'll just put this cover back on here. It's nice that these sides can be removed, so it just gives you more room to work with. All right, when sliding this in, you have to just watch these edges here, this edge here, and this one. Make sure that they slide into their proper places, which is here and here. All right. And then when you put the cover on, you make sure that nothing feels like it's binding. And then you put on all your screws. And again, this is plastic and not metal. These do not need to be torqued to spec. Just turn it until it stops. Do not give it an extra turn or whatever. You do not want to strip these. Yeah, it is just plastic. These screws aren't going to fall out. So turn until they stop, and that's it. One more screw. Put on these little feet. You know what? I always forget when I undo this pedal. This thing always falls out, and I always forget to put it back in. And of course, I already put on these feet, so it's going to be, I mean, a couple of extra steps just to get this thing off and to get that thing back on. I always do this to myself. So I'm going to get that on, and then we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to take a look at it all put back together. All right, I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. I put it back on. All you needed to do was unscrew these two, and you just gently lift it up and insert that fake nut, and yeah, you're good to go. So no need to open all of it back up just to get that nut back in. Thank goodness. And yeah, here it is. The ghost trap with the Ghostlab 42 hat light. And yeah, let's give it a go. Looks great. I think it looks really good. I mean, it's so small that even these kind of fit right over top of it, which is kind of crazy, right? This one's cut on an angle, so it doesn't really sit properly. But yeah, you can see the size difference. And I think in the end, if your budget allows, I think that the Ghostlab 42 looks the best. And that's in my eyes only. I mean, that's what's great about this hobby, where there's so many options out there, and you guys can choose which one you like best. So there's the Charlesworth Dynamics, found in the US, North America. It is just a cylinder. It's a little shorter. It's the same width all the way through. I'm going to shut this off because the ghosts are going to make noises. And then this is the Frutto Technologies, made it here all the way from the UK. Slightly taller, wider base, and it tapers slightly narrower at the top. And that one, visually, I think between these two look great. But it is a tad tall. It's like they're both even for me. There's plus and minuses, right? They're both big. I like the tapered look on this, but I think it's a little too tall. I like this one because it's a little shorter, because then it makes it look a little smaller. But at the end of the day, the Ghostlab 42 or sponge face light is the most screen accurate, and it does look good, and it's a great piece of crafted tech, or I don't know what to call it, but he did a really good job in engineering how that fits in there, and with the harness and everything. But these are simple, and that obviously, and these are simple and priced very, very well. And this one is a little bit more complicated and is almost more than double the price. So really, it's your personal preference. I'm just here to show you guys what is out there and what is available to you. And yeah, at the end of it, for me at least, I'm choosing the Ghostlab 42. All right, so that's it for now. Please like and subscribe, comment below, let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, before you guys go, I also wanted to add that I think that this light here from the Ghostlab 42 matches the Linrose hat light on the trap much better. They both have the concentric rings at the top of them. So if you look really close here, I don't know if I can get it to focus. There you can kind of see the rings there, and then you can see that as well on the ghost trap. So yeah, consistency. But yeah, thought I'd just add that in. I thought that was an observation that I needed to bring your attention to. All right, so again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.